When it comes to Nicole's birthday, a lot of people really don't know what it goes into. It's always her idea. It's something that she's into. It's not something that I come up with. I definitely take the idea and run with it because I've always wanted her to think out of the box. This year's a little different for Nicole, was much more involved in putting it together. So her tasks this year were doing the actual invitation. I gave her about 20 different ideas of images, and she originally picked a staircase, and then she went with that Bennett crest. And she had to write that invitation and come up with the idea of who it was from and all the wording. And second generation, none of us still know what that really means. Twice removed. Yeah, twice removed. That's what it was. We still don't know what that means. It took about 3 hours, and she was very patient with it. And then after that, she had to actually type that invitation correctly in Word, and she had to use all the correct formatting. That took her a good hour, which she'll use that later on down the line. I always try to teach Nicole to think out of the box. That the necklace that the socialite was wearing, we needed to have it big so that it was noticeable. And so, of course, think out of the box because, costume jewelry would have blown our budget. So Nicole was in Big Lots with me, and she went over to the ornaments from the after Christmas sale that were 75% off, and then they were broken. So we used two Christmas ornaments, or actually three Christmas ornaments for about $1.45 total, and made the necklaces. So it worked out perfect. Why go buy something if you can make it? Or why buy something to have something like everyone else when you can do it for cheaper and be different? So that's what I've always tried to instill in her in doing these parties and getting her to plan, getting her to think. And I always say think out of the box. We did the Survivor, and you were learning about patterns at that point and measurements, and the hut we built for the tribal council. You had to match all those patterns, and then you learned how to use a level. The tea party, and that was the Mad Hatter party, and you would have never gone for it if I had said tea party, but you were into Gwen Stefani and Harashuku Girls or whatever, and so the end result was Alice in Wonderland. But the rock star party, yeah, you learned to use a hammer in that one, built the stage, and the boys ran the lights. So we always have a good time. And this year with the Barbie cake, it was Christmas Eve day. We were grocery shopping, and it slipped out. Where I would love to have another one, and I said, "Hey, that's what we'll do this year." And she kind of got a panic look on her face and looked at me, and I said, "Nicole," I said, we'll figure out something. Don't worry, we'll figure out something." And then for Christmas, she got the DVD of Clue, and her and I were playing it. And I said, "That's it. We'll have a Clue party, and we'll have the cake be the socialite." And that's how we had to tie in the baker, then finding someone to make it, because I wasn't going to have it look like a Barbie cake. And Nicole said, "Dad, can't we draw a picture? Tell them exactly." So that's what we did. Obviously, I'm recording this before I've seen the cake, so I can only keep my fingers crossed that it will come out, because it's hard to, even when it's written out and I'm drawing a picture, people still don't get what goes on in my little mind, and I think what Nicole is envisioning too. So we will see about that one. But we had to do a little creative thinking so that we could tie the Barbie cake in with Clue. it just kind of rolled from there once Grandpa got involved, and my dad said, sure, he'd do the video, and Jenny, and I go, well, let's open it up to everyone else. And Wendy gave me the idea of having her mom be the baker. And people don't realize this, but every time they say something, it gave me another idea. And Clark, my assistant, he's the one that came up with the idea of have the parents participate. Because we joke, because every year a couple more parents will want to stay because the parties are fun. And Nicole did want to have a murder mystery last year, but way too hard, way too much for the kids to remember in detail. And so, hey, have the parents do it. And then I thought, just make it up to fit what we want it to be and do and how it works. The name tags for your party this year are three-dimensional. I woke up in the middle of the night and I remembered that when I was little in the little bathroom, my mom had taken an art class and they made these three-dimensional pictures, and they Xeroxed the picture 3 times and they cut out part of it. Same idea as your name tags. So I'm just passing it on to you because you may think I'm a geek now, but you'll be a geek when you're older. Every year something kind of blows the budget a little bit, and we didn't go out far this year for the mere fact it was the dress. Nicole found the dress for the socialite in a thrift store. It was a wedding dress, or a bridesmaid, but it was pretty wedding-y, and it was a peach, we'll call it. So we thought, what the heck? We cut it up and made it fit Priscilla, our friend, and we dyed it for 4 hours and it was still the same color. So since this party was going to have a Barbie cake, and we were going to pull that off by having the cake represent our socialite, and it couldn't look like a Barbie, we had to make some changes. So Dad got really creative with the sewing machine, which, as I always say, I don't sew, I just put things together. And because it was going to blow the whole thing if our socialite was wearing a pink wedding dress. It would have been a Barbie cake, and we couldn't have that. So that was set us back $25. So we're not too bad off there. Survivor party was the tent. Never knew a tent was so expensive. So that set us off there. Let's see, what was one of the cake at your tea party. That was 4 hours of sweating and cursing and never do it again. Remember the 2 bottom layers of that were styrofoam, and I didn't know styrofoam was so expensive. It's like $90 of styrofoam. It was scary. So there went my budget for that one. So I think it's a bit different this year, and it's something that she'll look back on a long time from now. I know I appreciate it now, and I was joking with Grandpa once again that she won't appreciate it till she's about 28, when I finally appreciated the things my dad had done for me. And so I know you'll throw this in a drawer, Nicole, and you'll look at it and you'll think, what a geek. But you know that already, and you know I rode the little bus and wore a helmet, so that's our thing. You just know. I just can't tell you how much I love you. You are the best. You are the best. Happy birthday. I love you.